Welcome to the Business Power Hour with Darren and the Music Man. Brought to you by Friend Entertainment USA, producing the best concerts for charities and corporations for over 30 years. And CBMS Consulting Services, control your business before it controls you. In association with Area 22 Productions, your multimedia streaming network. Now, here is Darren and the Music Man.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This handsome gentleman over to my right-hand side would be Darren. Hi, Darren.
Hey, Norman, how are you?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. What you doing this week?
You know what? It's been a busy week. A lot of good things happening. A lot of great stuff happening.
What makes it great?
Yeah, I want to talk about just real quick, and I know we do this at the end of the show, but I've been invited as an expert member of a panel to speak at Stony Brook University on August 21st.
Sweet. What are you going to talk about?
Well,
Me?
we're going to talk about trade shows.
We're
and
not
how,
going to talk about
No,
me?
no, we're not going to talk about you.
All right.
Well, although I am an expert
On me.
on you and working with you.
All right, that's good.
We're going to be talking about working at trade shows and how people should approach it and how they should handle themselves, how they should present themselves. So I was asked to be on this panel of experts, and I'm looking forward to it. So it's August 21st at Stony Brook University, a Small Business Center. You got to register at the Stony Brook. We're going to be posting that a little bit later on, how you can do that. So look forward to that.
I'm also going to have some news, but we're going to save mine.
We'll save yours.
to
Yours
the
is
end of
good.
the
You got
season.
some good news.
Yeah, I
coming
got
out,
some
right?
interesting news. It's a first-timer for me, and it's local, and I think the cost of it is extremely inexpensive.
Yes.
And it'll be a great event, and it's going to take place in 3 weeks. And we have a great guest tonight. We have a guy that's a guest. I have no idea what he talks about.
Well, I know
He's so freaking technical.
We did the pre-show with him, and I could see
glad
your
he
eyes.
came early.
I see your eyes glazing over as he was talking.
No, he's got to talk to our client. I mean, to the people outside there, like they're a little smarter than I am. Because, with the technical words and stuff that he uses. But he's a good lead-in to what we had last week.
Right.
Because last week we had an SEO marketing person.
Right,
who
but he
also
didn't.
did mobile apps.
Right, but he really focused on the mobile apps and developing your website and things like that, and not so much on the SEO stuff.
This is going to be, we go to network meetings.
Yes.
Right, and we look for one main thing, referrals.
Right.
Another word for referral is called a lead.
Right.
And that's what this gentleman does. And that's what everyone outside there that's in the business world, you are looking for a referral or for a lead. And we got the guy that's going to help you.
He does it a little bit differently.
Yeah, he certainly does. So why don't we introduce him and let him talk?
Let's find out what this gentleman's all about. So I'll let you do the honors this week. I did
Because his
the
name's
introduction.
tough, all right?
His name
could be
tough,
like
so
Joe Smith. He's got to have a different name. All right, so if we could do this correctly, it's Baldeep
Yes,
Chawla.
correct.
Is that right? I do good?
That's perfect.
Good. Give it to him. That's it. Excellent. All right. Well,
Welcome,
welcome.
Thank you for having
Baldeep,
me.
you own a company called Clear Sky Local.
Yes.
And as I asked you in the pre-show, how the hell did you get that name? And your answer was?
I made it up.
So there you go. So if you're looking for a name, just make something up. Because his business is rocketing. He is
The sky's the
national,
limit.
he's international, and he's got a beautiful car, and he does very, very well. And he's going to tell you now how he got to the part to get a beautiful
Well, that's
car.
how you found him, right? You found him outside in his car today.
Well, I found him.
Right.
Well,
And you said,
originally
"Come
when
on!"
I
You said,
found
"Come
him,
on in and come on a show."
He was very unique. We were at a network meeting, and he was sitting next to me,
Right.
and he said, "I didn't come here for business. I came here to meet people." So he met people. So
First thing you did was pitch the show.
That's it.
And you were trying to sell me on the show, and I said, "Don't worry about it. I'm good."
What you said to me is, take my credit card. I said, I don't want your credit card. That's the first thing he said. Hey, take my credit card. I'm in.
You know what? We got to talk more to him about that.
Exactly. He's good. He's great with credit cards. He's great.
So, Baldeep, tell us a little bit about your business.
Sure.
Okay.
So,
And do me a favor.
I'm going to dumb it down, quote unquote.
Right, dumb it down because a lot of our
Baldeep
audience,
for dummies.
Right, we're not very technical
Sure.
type of people.
So for the average business owner that's trying to get their reach out there, because I have clients. And,
Yeah.
You know, we talked about this before. I do business coaching, but we also do accounting and tax work and bookkeeping work. That's part of what our firm does. And we have clients that are always trying to get more clients in.
Sure.
Right? And that's really what you do, but you do it a little bit different.
Exactly.
Right? So give us a little taste.
And you guys mentioned, before I jump into that, you guys mentioned earlier, there's a lot of networking groups and referrals, and people are always trying to get referrals. But the reality is referrals are drying up, right? I speak to business owners on a daily basis across the country, and the referral-based businesses are the ones that I see slowly dying because they're drying up, especially in the medical field. You see there's plenty of conglomerate medical companies buying out big like hospitals over here in the Northeast, as Northwell and other parts of the country. There's different companies where now certain specialty physicians or specialty doctors like chiropractors, vein clinics, or any of those types of practices, they're not getting those referrals that they used to get from physicians because now they're doing it all in-house. Right. And it's happening across the board in multiple industries where the referrals are, if you're relying on referrals to grow your business, you're in for a world of hurt in the next few years, right? Sure, you can build a solid business, a solid job out of it, but you're not going to be able to scale a company. Right. So what we focus on is helping identify and build a system to generate you consistent customers, customer opportunities or patients or whatever you're looking for with predictability. And right now we're using Facebook ads as that gas, right?
So is that the only thing that you're using is Facebook ads?
Yeah, we're testing YouTube ads. We're testing other types of traffic sources. Right now, what we do in the process of the whole model is the system is designed to take an opportunity where somebody that's an opportunity is somebody that says, hey, I'm going to give you my name, my phone number, and email, and I'm interested in doing business with you. So reach out to me, or give me a way to reach out to you. So that's an opportunity. The system is designed to help convert those types of people into a customer that walks into your door.
Well, generating these leads, what type of leads are these? These warm leads, they're hot leads?
That's a good question.
Well, you got to pitch these
everybody
leads like
wants
it's a cold lead.
the Glenn Gary.
I just want to give him a contract.
Yeah, everyone just wants to hand them like, hey.
That's it.
So there's different aspects to that. That's a loaded question in that there's people that will immediately, put it this way. Let's make it super simple. When you're on Facebook, right, and since we're using Facebook for traffic, we're going to reference that a lot, right? You see a lot of advertisements. There's been a lot of scandal around advertisements lately. But essentially, what you're seeing is a lead that comes into you, is you're seeing that somebody that saw the ad, like, hey, I'm on Facebook, I'm in the bathroom, on the toilet, on the couch, between commercials.
We have a very classy show, so
yes.
don't worry about that.
It's the reality of
that was a shitty way to put it.
This week you're choosing to be classy?
It's them interested enough for them to see our ad, to click on our ad, to see our landing page or our capture page, and then say, hey, you know what? This makes sense to me. I'm interested in this. I'm going to type in my name, my phone number, and my email address, and click a button that says I want you to reach out to me. Right. So if that's not a quote-unquote warm lead, then I don't really don't know what it is. Right. But what happens is...
So it's just not capturing, you're just not stripping information off their Facebook page and feeding it.
Correct.
People have to take specific action.
Yeah, you can do that if you want on certain types of advertisements. But even the ones that I do run like that, I usually omit that portion because the quality is better when you make them type it.
Okay, perfect. Now, we're going to regress.
Okay.
This is the part of the show where I always say, okay, now it's time to regress.
Let's go back.
And we're going to use Norm's analogy, right?
Okay.
When you were a kid growing up in Lynbrook, all right?
How'd you know you grew up in Lynbrook?
Because he told me.
Oh.
And you're on the playground. Were you sitting there going, someday there's going to be a company called Facebook, and I'm going to be a marketing guy for Facebook? Is that how
Boy, what
you
a
envision
dream.
your life being?
That's great.
That's living the dream right there.
I mean, you thought about that and planned your whole life out.
Especially if you can have if I had the foresight of knowing there was going to be
That's
Facebook.
what we're talking about. That's great.
I wouldn't be here right now.
If all of us had the foresight.
Yeah, well, Facebook came out when I was in college.
Okay.
Right, and I had the edu address, so I was able to get access. But even then, very few people realized the power behind the platform. But yeah, when I was younger, I had no idea what I wanted to do until I was about maybe 22, 22.
Is that when your
23.
mother said, "Get the hell out of the house"?
I had left prior to that. Yeah, I had left prior to that. But yeah, pretty much. You know, I don't think anybody really has an idea of what they want to
So
do.
what was your first job
I worked
after college?
So during college and a little after college, I worked at like retail, like the standard shops. Then I went to the tax business, more so because of the seasonality. It's like, oh, hey, I
I
can
mean,
work
tax preparation.
tax preparation, yeah. But then I ended up seeing the profit potential and purchased a location and ended up with 15 plus locations.
How many?
15.
Wow.
Damn.
In 5 states, a lot of employees, a big operation. And then that was in the franchise world, so I also ended up becoming an area developer for a franchise. I've purchased other franchise concepts. I've been in the franchise world up until about 2015 when I exited.
Having all these employees, all these locations and stuff, that had to be very time consuming for you.
Yeah. So I mean, that's the tough part, right? Especially if anybody that's running a business, finding reliable employees is a challenge
In any business.
In any business, right? And more so, I'll challenge you on a seasonal business where you can't retain people year round for the most part. You can only retain key people. So at a certain point, it gets time consuming to have to train consistently, to recruit consistently, and then over time it just becomes cumbersome.
Right.
So how long did you do that for?
Ooh, 7 years.
Okay.
7 years. Yeah, I exited. I think 7 years, pretty much to the
So you
date.
grinded it out, you got the 7-year itch,
Yeah.
and you said time for a change.
Yeah, so around that time, I had starting to have a family, and the traveling from the locations and the stress of that versus let me figure out something else to do. I had enough runway where I could say, hey, let me find something I can do that's a little bit more, I guess, receptive to the lifestyle I want.
Right.
Right? And it's something that I could scale without having to have a lot of overhead or multiple employees.
So you looked at yourself and said, hey, this isn't the life I want to live, right? I want a life that I want to live. And you were lucky enough that you built a business where if you got out, you could say, hey, you know what? I can take a time out and I can figure it out.
Yeah.
Right? Unlike a lot of other entrepreneurs that come on, and we talk to them about, well, how did you get into this? It was usually a life-changing thing where the company, there was layoffs or, something happened where, a big thing.
I've never had the corporate layoffs ever been in the corporate world.
You were in a unique situation where you could make that choice for yourself.
Yeah.
And you realized your quality of life wasn't what you wanted it to be, so you went and figured that out. So how did you get into marketing? If you're a tax guy, doing tax returns, and now all of a sudden you're a marketing guy. How does that happen?
That's interesting you say that because I'll bring up a little story. A person that I knew back from the tax world who was a friend with my former partner, he asked me about my marketing. He asked me, what are you doing? I see you all over Facebook. I see your lives. I see what you're doing. He's like, tell me more about it. And he actually said those words. He's like, remember, I know you as a tax guy. But the reality was I wasn't really much of a tax guy, more as the operator or the marketer of that business.
You were the owner.
Yeah, I wasn't sitting there doing the work. Otherwise, it wouldn't have been able to scale to that point. I can't be in 15 places at once, right?
Right.
So essentially, a lot of what I learned and what didn't work in the advertising and the marketing that I did over those years to have consistent customers and retention increase year over year is what I took to this company, the agency now, in figuring out, hey, ultimately businesses are always going to have a need for more customers and more revenue. So I'm good at that. How can I help them in this day and age, or how can I help them with with the tools available to me now? That's kind of how it went.
And so how did you decide on focusing on Facebook?
So Facebook is the most powerful platform right now for any local business or a national company, for that matter, to generate a consistent customer. I decided on that when I saw how, quote unquote, simple it was to get in front of the right people, right? So like, if you think about direct mail, right? And I'm not bashing into the direct mail. I actually run direct mail for my business too, right? But it's targetables. Right? There's no conversion metrics. There's no way to say, hey, how do we track this actually worked? Whereas on Facebook, I can say, hey, you know what? I don't care about those 80,000 people. I want to show an advertisement for this specific condition or this specific product or this specific service to only these 10,000 specific people that would match the need for this.
Right.
So now all of a sudden your marketing is effective. Now all of a sudden we can track, hey, you got 100 opportunities this month, and we can track how many converted into real customers and real life dollars.
Well, how do you get those 100? See, that's your business. This is what your business is all about. So we don't want to give away trade secrets, but there is a particular way that if people get in touch with you. Well, by the way, what's your phone number for people to reach you?
Yeah. Sure, it's 516-274-4422, and you can go to clearskylocal.com or just book a call there as well.
Tell them the phone number again.
516-274-4422.
Okay, so now I got a question for you, right? We're always putting things up on Facebook. Our announcements, our shows, all of that stuff. And then we get this thing called boosting our posts. All right? And you know, for $50, you can boost your post and reach.
Boost it for $5.
You can boost it for however much you
what, you know, I'm just using that number. But if we boost the post, it's now going to get out to so many more people.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah, people see it, sure.
Yeah, okay.
So
why would I use you if I can boost my post?
Because I'll get into that. So every time I hear and I speak to business owners, I boost posts, or boost posts used to work, right? And now it's not working. What happened? So essentially, when you look at the landscape of advertisement on Facebook, right, there are over 11 objectives you can do, right? Objectives being, hey, what do you want this campaign to achieve? There's some for converting a sale, like so say you're selling a product. There's some for lead generation. There's some for traffic to a website. There's something for video views, right? What are you trying to achieve?
Right.
So boosting posts by default is an engagement objective, which is like, hey, we want people to engage with this post.
Right.
Like comment, like, share.
Yeah.
When's the last time you deposited likes and shares into your bank account?
Never.
So that's why it doesn't work. Right?
That's why I have no money.
So
I didn't understand.
Your Facebook and its algorithm is deciding, hey, we're going to show this to people that are likely to do this.
Right.
Not really people that are likely to be your customers, regardless of who you target. Right? It's going to show it for people that result, that objective.
Okay. So
it's going to measure the success based off likes and shares and comments, not off leads and sales.
I gotcha. So because then we get the metrics and this
Yeah,
is how many people you're
but
reaching.
nobody called me.
Right, exactly.
Because that's what you told that you wanted.
Right.
Right? If you went and said, hey, let me do lead generation, and go ahead and try it, it's easy to set up. Let me do lead generation, you'll see the objective give you, oh, you know what? Maybe I got a lead for $10. Right. Oh, wow, I'm getting $10 per lead instead of spending $20 and getting nothing. Right?
So let me ask you this.
So that's the difference.
Yeah, there's objectives.
Right.
Like, what do you want to accomplish?
Now, I do boost ads. I don't get a very good response for it.
Not.
And you explained that to me.
Most of his ads has his picture up front, so that's
another deterrent, right? We're gonna.
If I'm looking to do, if I'm doing a concert, we'll take my industry. Sure. If I'm looking to do, I'm doing a concert and ABC is performing.
Sure.
But ABC was in the 70s. Okay, so we're looking for people that grew up in the 70s, attended music in the 70s, yada, yada.
Yeah.
So I would come up with the keywords.
The demographic.
The demographic, so we want people.
And you're going to boost it to them.
45 to 70 years of age.
Yeah.
Okay, and that liked rock and roll or heavy metal or whatever. Is
Metallica or
exactly.
So you Metallica, I'm sorry.
You put in like competitors type names and so on.
That's perfect strategy. It's just your objective is wrong.
So what objective would you go to?
So depending on what platform you're using for ticket sales, if you're able to use what's called a pixel, which lets you track or add code to it, then you would want to do a conversion and put the code on purchase.
Okay, so wait a second.
So an objective is a conversion.
So objective
one
is
of the
a conversion,
objectives. One of the
but you can add code to your boost?
No, not to the boost. You got to get past the boost. The boost is for the business owner who has a Facebook page and Facebook's just trying to steal your money, essentially, right? Because they're like, it's not going to work, but you're going to keep spending it.
Right.
But
because we're telling you you're reaching 1,000 more people by doing it.
And it's good. I'm not trying to say against it. It's good for certain purposes, and I use it for my business in certain purposes. But as a strategy to get customers or get business in the door, it's not going to be the strategy.
Okay, so what's the difference between what you're doing Because I have clients, right, and they use companies like Fresh Lime and things like that, which are these companies that will once a week put a post up on Facebook for you that's industry specific to what your thing is and that. And I have a client that uses that. What's the difference between what you're doing and what they're doing? Because a lot of times too, it's not click here and contact us type of stuff.
Exactly. So what those companies are doing, the social media companies, which I don't do specifically because I'll get into that later. But what they're doing is they're basically posting those contents. You go buy a package for like $200, and they're going to do a post a week on your page or whatever they're offering. You see them at all the trade shows. They're not innovating. It's the same crap.
Right.
What they're doing is they're fighting a losing battle. Essentially, Facebook over a year ago stopped giving any reach to your post, which is why they're saying boost it so more people see it. So that content doesn't convert. It's just another nice tool, like, hey, your Facebook page, you have content there, but nobody's really reading it. So why are you going to waste your time or money or effort on something that nobody's seeing in the short term? If you're a business and you're looking to grow, that's not the strategy for you. That's something to add to your arsenal as you're building and as you have predictability in customer and lead flow. Then you could say, hey, let me get more engaged, let me get more content out there to drip them or to show them or to put in front of prospective people that maybe have not converted.
Always keep my name in front of
them.
Type of thing.
But that's not your way to get customers initially. Right. I feel it's wrong that it's sold like that. Like, hey, we're going to do this and you're going to get customers, and you're not.
Yeah, but every one of those companies tells you the same thing.
Yeah, because first of all, they're using what's called vanity metrics, right? Vanity metrics are like exactly what you just were talking about. Oh, we got you this many impressions, right? And we got you, this much reach.
Right.
But nobody really cares because that doesn't equal dollars. That doesn't equal money. That doesn't equal customers. So I'll go to trade shows. I go to trade shows frequently, and you were talking about it earlier in the show. And I'm surprised by how many digital marketing companies or social media companies are out there doing stuff, talking like it works when it only worked 5 years ago and it doesn't work anymore.
Right.
So they're not innovating. They're not trying new things.
Well, okay, so like you said, you're doing something that's right now on the cutting edge, the innovation piece.
Sure.
6 months from now,
it might not be.
It may not be. So what are you doing to stay ahead of that curve?
So in my company, and I have a bunch of colleagues that I frequently talk with.
Right.
High-end masterminds, high-end stuff, right? And we're always saying, hey, what's next? What's going to happen? What are we trying? We're always sharing different things. In my company, I actually invest some of my own money into testing other platforms, other objectives, other types of advertisements, because the one trick may not work for so long. Right? And we're always changing objectives and doing all this different stuff to stay ahead of that curve. Like we had spoke a little bit in the other room prior to the show about messenger bots, right? An automated way to get leads right now it's really blowing up in the space. Most people that
blowing up good or blowing up bad?
Really good. Like you're getting really cheap conversions or cheap costs per acquisition.
Right.
Not a lot of companies are using it.
So explain the messenger bot thing and how.
Yeah, why aren't companies using it if it's so hot?
It is because the marketers haven't killed it yet. At the end of the day, I personally will set that up for very few clients, just because I see the potential. There's a lot of more work that goes into it, so I would charge a lot more to do it. But ultimately, a lot of businesses are not officially ready for me to set it up. They can go set one up on their own.
So is messenger bots, it's like push technology?
It's
almost?
kind of like push technology because everyone has Facebook Messenger.
Okay, what's push technology?
Like a notification on your phone. So picture this, right? For example, you see an ad on Facebook, and it's for a restaurant, right? And they say, hey, send a message here to get a free appetizer with your dinner, right? So now they send a message. It sends it through Facebook Messenger. The restaurant responds, hey, do you want this appetizer? Click this button to get started.
Right.
They click the button, right? Now they're like, okay, great. It sends a message with the redeemable code, right? Awesome. 2 weeks later, that person's still on your list.
Right.
And now it's like, oh, hey, they redeemed the offer. We saw they redeemed the offer. Hey, how about we automatically send you a free dessert on your next visit?
So is that how it's like what's happening to me a lot of times with Facebook? I'll be on Facebook, I'll see an ad, I'll click it, right? And sometimes there'll be a download of, so I'm always reading, I'm always trying to gain more knowledge. So I do a lot with coaches, and I see that. So I'm always
the
trying
webinars,
to
everything.
see what else they're doing, and I'll put my name in, my email, and all of a sudden, every time I open Facebook, those guys are there.
Yeah. Well,
Those
it's a little
ads are there.
different.
Is it
Yeah.
similar to that?
It's similar to that. They're on your list, but what you're talking about is what's called retargeting.
Okay.
So like if you go to any website, pretty much nowadays has it. Most local businesses don't, which is unfortunate, but we can get into that later. But essentially what's happening is when you visit a website, like say you click on an ad, like you went and read that article from, say, Darren Hardy
Right.
or somebody like
Yeah,
that. I actually
Darren,
know the
yeah,
guys that run Darren Hardy's ads.
Okay.
So like you go visit,
Like
like
he's one of the guys that
Yeah,
pops
he's
up
on-
constantly.
yeah, so-
it's like, hey, and he's good because he's like, hey, you haven't responded yet.
yeah, all the new stuff you're seeing, my friends are running.
Okay.
Let me interrupt for a second.
Yeah.
I'm getting some responses here
Oh, wow.
from some people that are watching.
Awesome.
Okay. There is Darren Zinna. First of all, Darren, thank you very much for writing in. He writes, how do we target customers then? They want to be, actually another gentleman said, sell me. Tell me what it is. Why do we need him? Sell me on it. Okay, let's take that. Darren, you asked this question.
How
Here
does
comes your answer.
And I tell you, Darren's one of my clients.
Is he?
And he's
So
the guy
Darren-
who uses Freshline. All right?
Okay.
And
Is that I don't know what Freshline is. Is that a posting service?
well, it's a posting
All right,
service.
so Darren, if you're not getting at least 30 customer opportunities from them every single month, then fire them and we'll talk.
That's it.
We could have a
Well, how does he
conversation.
call you again? What's the number?
You can give it to him, but
Give it to everybody. Darren, write this down, because everybody probably has the
Yeah,
same question.
yeah.
Go ahead. So how do they reach you?
516-274-4422. Just send me a text or call me, and we could set up a quick 15-minute, 20-minute conversation and go from there.
Who's Kelly Chaffee?
That's my sister-in-law.
Okay, well, she's in it. Hi, Kelly. Nice to meet you.
Hey,
We got the whole
Kelly.
Family calling in.
Yeah, well,
He's got
my
his
brother
Marilyn, hi. How are you?
But to
Okay,
go
let's
back-
go back
Yeah,
to.
to go back to answer your question, so yeah, you go to Darren Hardy's page, right? All of a sudden, there's a code there, like that code I was telling you about or hinting to.
Right.
Now I know you're on that page. So what I can do on the ad side, which I do on my own ads and for my customers' ads, is hey, if you saw this page but didn't go see this page, which is my after purchase page or my schedule page or this page, then you're gonna see this ad. And you're gonna keep seeing that ad until you see that page.
Right.
Right? And that's what's gonna happen. So you can do that. Once you have that data, which is why I feel a lot of local businesses are not taking advantage of it. Once you see that data, you can spend like $5 a day and stay in front of people that have seen you already.
Well, how difficult is it to do something like that?
I mean, it's
And I'll go to Darren Zinna's
Yeah.
thing. You know, hey, you know what? I posted something on Facebook, and they clicked on it and read it, or they went to my website.
Yeah.
Now I want to be in their face constantly, like
Every
Darren
day.
Hardy.
Yeah.
To say, hey, I'm here.
Yeah, it's just adding code to a site and then creating the advertisement to match it.
Okay.
It's
Is
not.
that something you do?
Yeah, we do that all the
Okay.
time. I mean, for a business owner to do it themselves, go if you really want to learn how to do it, and if that's your business and like you want to learn how to do
that's
that,
fine.
I can tell you,
Yeah.
we're gonna
Always
we'll
find
use,
ways to
we'll
do
use
that.
Darren as the example. Darren doesn't want to do any of that stuff. Okay?
So
Because when
there's
it
the
comes to
reason
that
why
stuff,
you hire him, Darren.
he calls me up and says, how do I get this done? And then I try to
Yes,
figure
You
it out.
want to be
Exactly.
out selling, Darren. That's what
That's
you
it.
want to do. You want to pass it off so that the rest of America can make some money, and so can you.
I mean, I'm all for business owners, doing things on their own. But there's certain things that, hey, if you're gonna do it, more power to you. But when you want to really grow your business, I've been there from my background. Right. You have to let go of certain things and start delegating and put people that know more about it than you to do it.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, it sounds like that your clientele are pretty. They have high volumes. Well, they have relatively high volumes. There aren't a lot of people that are either watching in or that do 1 million, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is there a way do you have a market for those people as well, for that make gross less money?
Yes and no. I mean, I could do consults.
Screw the consult. They want you to do the job.
I could.
Could you give it off to somebody?
I could. I do have. So I do have other people that I train that I do coaching for that would be willing to take on work that may not be what I would handle. And even like in certain cases, like you spoke about your events, I don't necessarily always handle events. Like I've done 1 or 2, but I have a colleague that's 10 times better than me at doing
At
it.
events.
So I'm like, hey, you take care of it. And
So-
Well, I would like to
yeah.
speak to that person.
Right, sure.
And I have someone that wants to speak to you, which I'm saving you for.
Okay, you're
that was at the
you're
end.
saving me.
That was the finale.
In a good way. In a good way.
Yeah, so I
Right?
always feel that, hey, if I'm never going to take a business's money if I don't feel I can help them.
Well, see, that's fantastic because that's one of the things that when I coach,
It's not about
we
that.
talk about let's focus on your strengths, and you need to work
Yeah.
on your strengths and do what you do best.
Exactly.
And then leave, like you said, leave all the other stuff up to the other experts that can help you do it.
Exactly.
And there's enough out there now in this day and age. You know, you don't have to hire a dedicated person to do a lot of things that you can get done in the back office, say,
Yeah.
you know, or in the marketing side or stuff like that.
And I
you
also
can
think-
piecemeal it out and make it affordable for yourself where, you know, all of a sudden, 6 months down the road, you go, well, I really don't need a marketing person right now because
Yeah.
everything's humming.
Well, it's funny that you say that too. Like, there's a skills shortage in the industry, in the marketing space. You see big companies are looking for people to run their digital marketing campaigns.
Right.
And they can't find them because schools are years behind in teaching them the stuff that's relevant now. There's no way, they're going to school to get a marketing degree when the stuff you learn there is so outdated from a professor that's never actually done it.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So like, what are you really gonna learn?
Yeah.
Right? And so the amount of positions available for somebody that really wants to learn it and go get a job there's so many out there. The opportunity for somebody to become an agency or a marketer is really big to help these businesses. Ultimately, the local business or the business doesn't necessarily need to hire a social media person. The reason is, first of all, they're not going to be too often skilled in getting you the results you want.
Right.
You're going to spend the $15 an hour on them, right? Full time. Right. Plus payroll taxes, plus benefits or whatever you're doing.
Well, and that's what I'm talking
It
about.
doesn't become cumbersome. Like, you don't need that.
Yeah, you outsource it. You find these small companies that are doing it. But like you said, a lot of these people or a lot of these kids are going, I can boost a post on Facebook, and that's how they're going. And
I
that's
can
how they
boost
work.
an
You
ad
can
on
post,
post, and
you
I don't
can-
know
You
anything.
can do it, and so I can become an SEO person, and a lot of people are starting up like that because I talk to people. And one of the things that, and Darren's one of them, is like, what's the best way for us to go, right?
Yeah.
There are companies out there that they're always trying to sell you more. And, I'm not going to name the company, but one of the companies that he used.
You can bash them all. It's your show, you can bash them.
Right. They talked him into increasing his spend.
For
and
what result?
There was no additional result in it.
Or
So
no
he
additional
brought the
value.
spend back down to where
He's
it was.
the only one who made money.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, that's unfortunate. Like, there's so many marketing companies out there. There's the ones that say, hey, you know what? You're going to commit to us for a year, but you have no guarantees that we'll do anything for you.
But
Right.
that's why
And
your
you're
retention is
Yeah.
as good as you said it
So
was, because you deliver on
My
what
re-
it is it's going to be.
My retention, like I said, is anywhere from 12 to 16 months, right? I mean, I have some that's been a little bit longer, but that's the average, right?
Right.
And I don't have a 12-month contract. The most I have is 3 months, and after that, it's month to month.
Right. Okay.
Right? And there's always a guarantee and a way out if we don't provide the result that we promise.
Right.
Right?
So you basically you say, hey, look, I'm going to get you.
We guarantee.
Tell me your
yes,
guarantees. I don't
yeah.
want to guess.
Yeah, so on our basic, where we start everyone off on our normal package, and then people that want to scale up. But everyone is guaranteed 30 opportunities, right? You're going to get at least 30 people that say, yes, I'm interested in doing business with you. Here's my name, phone number, and email. Contact me for your product, service, or whatever it is you do. We're going to guarantee 30. If your conversion is crap and you convert
Now,
5
is
or
that 30 within the first month? Or is
well,
that
yeah,
2
30
months?
per month,
Okay,
right? 30 per month.
Okay.
If we don't get you
30 warm leads.
30 people that raised their hand, gave you their info,
And
the whole
said,
nine.
basically, call me.
Yeah,
Call me.
right?
Sell
Or
me.
we'll offer them a chance to call you, and that's another
Got
part of the
it.
process.
Either way.
Right? So if we don't get you 30 within that first month, you're not going to pay us for the next month until we get you that 30.
Right. Okay.
But that's just the minimum guarantee.
So wait a second. So if for example, I'm just throwing round numbers out, right? We'll say, because that's what a lot of SEO, right? We'll say $400 a month, and we know that that's not your fees. Right?
I'm sorry you can't afford me for that. That's less than I spend on the ads.
Right. So for $400 a month, you guarantee me 30 warm leads. You come in at 20. I'm not paying you the next 400 until I get my 30.
Until you get it, yeah.
Okay.
but we're nowhere near $400
Wow,
a month.
no,
$400. I don't want to give anybody hopes that
Yeah.
we're well beyond that, but the value's there, right?
Right.
And like ultimately, where we work with the company, it's not just in getting you the lead. That's just one aspect of it.
What type of companies do you do most of your work for? Because that's something too.
Well, it's industry.
Industries,
It's the
yeah, yeah.
industries.
Yeah, I mean, I work with medical, fitness, some service-based businesses, franchisors. It
Here's
varies.
another question.
Yeah.
Who can't you work for?
People that aren't will.
I'm not talking about money. I'm talking
Yeah.
about industries like the banking or
So,
brokerage.
I mean, I have a program for like financial planners that's separate from the Facebook that has a separate guarantee, but there's certain industries that have more stringent.
Right. We have the same problem. They can't come on this show.
Yeah, but there's other things you could do.
There's liabilities
There's certain things you have to be careful of, right? Especially in medical, right? You have to be careful. There's certain things you
and
can't.
financial.
Financially, yeah, financial planners are very, the restrictions are there. Even insurance has restrictions, right? There's not really so much a company that I can't work for, like some industries that I can't do something for unless it's like a restricted category by Facebook. It's more so, hey, am I feel I'm the best person to serve you? If I'm not, then hey, you know what? I know so-and-so that all they do is do Facebook ads and generate leads for insurance people. They'll probably give you a better result than I can. Go ahead and talk to this person, right? So for me, it all comes down to, do I like you, right? Because we have to be able to talk to each other. We have to be able to.
Absolutely.
Because a lot of the aspect of this business is not me just providing the service. It's me helping your staff convert them. Because if your staff can't convert the people that we send you,
So
you're not staying with me, right?
Right. So that brings on a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
And the things I always, when I work with my clients is.
So your client's already trained. I don't have to do anything. For
Right. Well, like I tell my clients all the time is, you know what, people aren't buying necessarily what you're selling. They're buying what you're selling, but they're buying you.
First and
right?
foremost.
First and foremost.
Yeah.
They meet you, they like you, they trust you. Okay, I want to do business with
Exactly.
you. And, you know, so I work with my clients on creating that atmosphere to make sure that people want to buy from them. But you're telling me that now, because now it's a different thing. You said something in here that's different than what they may perceive what you do, because you're not a typical SEO company where
He's
not
I'm
doing
gonna
any
go,
SEO.
all right, yeah,
It's all paid traffic. Like,
It's all-
if you want a result, you have to pay for it.
right.
And
Yeah, I get it. But what I'm saying is, you know, all the other companies that say we're going to do advertising on Facebook for you and we're going to do this and that, you're taking it another step because
Yeah.
you're actually training people how to close.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're doing sales training on
we
top
have
of
a
it.
conversion system that's built into our system, but we also have people like my team. We have either weekly or bi-weekly calls depending on the structure of the agreement or what's needed, and we'll train on how to convert the leads because ultimately, you know, my services, sure, the first 3 months are contracted, but there's an out if I don't provide. But everything else is month to month.
So where do you get your information from?
Huh?
How do you train this person to sell concerts to not-for-profit organizations?
Well, we're not selling concerts to non-profits.
What are you selling?
So
I get that lead that we just contracted to go and do. It's ABC Church in Mississippi, whatever, and they're interested in my services. So how do you go and talk to, what do you tell this person if I want you to make the sales call?
we're not making the sales calls for you
Okay, we understand. We're paying the extra.
Yeah.
So,
but regardless, say you have staff, right? Say you're an average business, you have a front desk person your front desk person does everything, right? They handle that other thing. The last thing they want is more work. Right. But now you're just like, hey, we're going to do these Facebook ads, and you got to call all these people now too. Right. So there becomes some friction. Right. They're like, oh, I'll get around to it. I'm so busy with all this other stuff. So we have to shift the priorities, which is kind of what you do. Like, hey, prioritize. What do you focus on first? Sure, systems, processes, but without sales, you die. Right. So you need to be able to convert. You need to be able to get these people in. So we really work a lot with whoever's going to be that point person to make sure that they take care of that person that just gave you their information. So how do you get them on the phone? Like, how do you speak to them? What scripts do you use? We'll write them out for you. But we have a whole training system on it. But we listen to the calls. And we say, hey, your objective of your front desk is not to answer all 50 of their questions. It's not to say this is our prices, this is what we do. Like, it's not all of that. The whole objective, depending on the business, is to get them in the door to get in front of you.
Right.
Right?
Or for you to be in front of them.
Get in front of the closer.
Get in front of the person that's going to actually convert them, right?
Right.
Because we're not teaching the front desk or the person that's calling how to cross-sell, upsell, say, oh, here, take this package, or hey, this is what works for you.
Right.
'Cause that's a whole different, you need a whole different system for that.
Well, that's what I was referring to.
Yeah.
In other words, you have to understand the nuances
Yeah.
of each industry, and they're all different.
Well, where our focus is getting that person that's going to be that employee that's sitting there, the receptionist, maybe somebody you hired specifically for that. How do we get them to take an opportunity that came in from Facebook and get them in front of the owner, or get them into the door, or whatever?
And if I don't want you to do that, you still have this. You're happy not to do that.
Yeah, I don't really offer that unless I see a struggle.
Got it.
Right? If your staff can't accomplish certain metrics within 3 or 4 months, then I'll say, hey, maybe I should bring in a company that can do this.
Right.
Because seems to be some training issues that we can't overcome, and we don't want you to lose money, because ultimately, if say you get 100 leads in a month, 100 opportunities in a month,
Right.
and only 20 of them converted, you just left 80 leads on the table. Right? What is 80 leads worth to you? Is it $2,000 a lead?
Yeah, it could be.
Right? So you just left $200,000. Like, hey, you made $50,000. You gave us $4 or $5 grand, whatever it was, but you lost $180,000.
Right.
Right? So how do we get that? Like, that's what we focus on. How do we squeeze more of that out? And that's part the follow-up. That's also part. It might not be the right time, but how do we stay in front of them?
Yep.
Like we spoke about earlier. So it's just the whole system that has to work together.
So
So it's not just like a service. It's not like, hey, we're going to post this. This is going to happen.
well, and that's what I'm saying,
Yeah.
is that you're not your typical ones, the ones that a lot of people are using out there, saying, hey, I'm going to charge you $400 a month or $500 a month,
Yeah.
and I'm going to get it out onto Facebook
it's crap.
and all these other
But
things.
that's
And
obviously what we're hearing is
Yeah.
it doesn't work.
well, it doesn't work. So
You
we're paying that.
have
we know
enough
that, we know
clients
that.
that say like, hey, it doesn't. We know it doesn't work, but there's nothing else I know. I don't know what to
Right.
do. Right? I have to spend this money because you have a budget. Right? Most people they'll have. All right, I
Well,
need to
it's
spend
not,
money.
not only budget, but they got to get the name out there.
Yeah, they have to do something, like,
they're
if you're
trying to
not-
figure out a way to get their name out there.
Yeah.
You know, I have contractors that use Home Advisor, right? Home Advisor is a hot lead.
It's
because
a hot
these-
lead.
these
But they got
people-
sold to 5 other people, 10 other people, 20 other people.
So it's how fast you react.
Yeah.
All right.
And that's the shitty game to play.
And that's a shitty game to play. And actually, Darren's in a
Darren's-
contract. You know, so he's one of those guys that plays
Yeah.
that game. And you know, and he says, as soon as Lee comes in, I make the phone
What
call.
does Darren do?
Darren's an electrician.
Electrician?
Yeah,
Okay.
so-
like if Darren's looking for high-end commercial electrician job, like
Right.
electric jobs, right? His strategy may not be Facebook, right? It may not be. Like there's certain industries that like electrician, not so much Facebook.
Right.
Roofing, yes, Facebook all day.
Why roofing over
That's roof. Like think about there's certain like what kind of marketing message can a roofing guy provide versus an electrician? Like what's sexy about electricians?
Right, yeah.
Right. Like what
Sexy about a
everything-
damn roof.
If you saw Darren, not much.
Yeah. Everything.
I love you, Darren.
But so here's an example. Even the roofing industry. So we took a client. Roofing does well on Facebook.
Yeah.
I have some colleagues that specialize in roofing.
Really?
But yeah, specialize in Facebook ads for roofing. But we took a roofing company as they wanted commercial deals. Like good luck getting commercial deals on Facebook. But we implemented another strategy on LinkedIn. They got $180,000 in deals in the first month.
What did they
Wow.
spend to get that?
$2 or $3 grand. So
I
like
like the return on the money.
so.
Well, the return on investment is tremendous
Yeah.
if you can convert, right?
If you can convert the sale, but all I can do from that point for you,
You need
is
a
get
good salesperson
is
that
not
can
even,
present.
Not even well, all I can
After you
do
get the lead.
on certain ones is like, hey, I can get you to the point of your at bat. You have your
Right.
opportunity.
You got the at bat, but
Yeah.
and we talked about this before, right? It's once you get the at bat, it's making that connection.
Yeah.
Because the sale isn't about how you pitch it.
Nope.
The sale is about making that connection.
Can you provide more value to the customer than they feel
Yep.
that they're paying for?
Right, exactly.
Right. So that's what I do.
Exactly.
Like when I have conversations with prospective clients of mine or people that I'm potentially going to work with. I don't work with everybody, but we have conversations. If I feel I could provide you more value, then you're going to pay me because I say, hey, you know what? We can get we're going to guarantee you 30 people. Hey, what happens when you got 30 people to raise their hand? Out of 10 people, how many people do you convert into a customer? Oh, I'm a great closer. I can close 7.
Right.
Great. Well, let's say you can only close 5, right? Now, if I bring you 30, that's 15 people that you closed, right? So what's 15 customers worth to you? $1,000 each. Okay, okay, awesome.
15 grand, there you go.
15 grand. So will you pay me for 3 customers if I bring you back 15?
Right.
Because I know that, hey, my value exchange, you're always going to win.
Right.
You're always going to get more value out of that exchange than I am. And that's my job.
Right.
As a marketer, as a company that's trying to get you a result, not like other companies out there that say, hey, give us 10 grand to send out these mailers, but maybe nobody will ever fucking call you. Sorry.
We didn't say, nobody said that.
We got the 7 second
Stevie,
delay.
get rid of that.
The delay.
You're so passionate.
It's because I've spent the hundreds of thousands of dollars on it myself.
Right.
What is the biggest client that you've ever had? What was the return?
10.4 million off of 42 or 48,000.
Really? Wow.
What kind of industry were they in?
That was so what
Roofer?
they did so they developed, they were the sales team. They weren't even the developer. They were the sales team for a development community that sold 1 million to 1.5 million homes, or
Okay.
800 to 1 point. So,
All right, yeah, so
but
they-
they
yeah.
spend a lot of money. They spend money on Google. They like, so the funny story. I pitched this client, like, I don't know. I pitched him. I got in front of him somehow through a bunch of his websites. And he's like, well, I had to call you because you reached out to me on my website. This is when I was really prospecting heavily, like really trying to figure out how do I get into this. This was like 2 years ago. And he's like, we've never gotten Facebook to work. And I'm like, I've never done an account this, like I've never done a campaign like this. Like I knew how to do real estate ads, but not on this scale. Like we were doing like 400, 600,000 homes, whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm like, how am I going to sell this? Well, I'm like, you know what? Let me just go to my formula, because I have a formula I kind of know that it's going to kind of work for me. So I launched it.
So hold on, okay, before you do that,
Yeah.
because I always try to put a learning piece in
Yeah.
here, right? You have systems in place,
Of course.
that you're using for everybody. You're
Yeah.
just not meeting with someone and saying, you know what, let's try this, and it will
You don't
work.
have a system for my business.
I don't, but I probably wouldn't take you as a client, Norman, no offense. But
But look at the market I could bring you. It's a whole new market.
yeah,
it's all-
but there's other people that I feel would better serve you.
Okay.
And just it's not an industry.
I mean,
I'm
it's
looking
not
to
personal.
No, it's not personal. I like you still.
But what I'm saying is that you do have, for the industries that you do serve, there
Yeah.
are formulas that you're using going, hey, you know what, if we're doing these steps,
Yeah.
typically our results are this.
Yeah, and I wouldn't give you a guarantee if I didn't feel confident that I could produce a result, right? And there's some cases that I haven't given the guarantee just because, like, hey, I don't know, but it still works out.
So-
but here's the process, right? So essentially, regardless if it's an industry maybe we haven't done enough of, or I maybe not be as familiar with, the first thing I'll do is customer research. So we want to find out the needs, wants, fears, goals, and concerns of your customer.
Because that's what you want to drive to.
That's who you want in the door, right? So how do we do that? We send an email with a survey to your email list. We set up an ad and spend money to your potential customers, and then they tell us in their own words what their pains, goals, fears, concerns, desires, wants are about your product or service, and then we structure an ad that hits those pain points.
Got it.
Right.
That's what you tell you.
We have
They're filling out a profile.
They're telling us
just like
exactly.
you filled out a profile. They're giving
Just
you all
like you had me fill out
exactly,
these papers,
the
right?
same type of thing.
So we do that.
I'm going to interrupt you because
Sure.
it's getting late and we're going to have to say goodbye right away.
Really, time goes by
Yeah,
fast.
we told you, right? This time
It
flies.
goes like nuts.
You know, we're
Give
getting
you a
through this.
final pitch for people to give you a call and you give your
Yeah.
phone number again.
Sure. I mean, if you're really looking for a
Look
consistent,
right into the camera and talk to them.
if you're looking
Talk
for
to Darren. Go ahead.
Darren, stop wasting money on lime juice or whatever it's called. If you're looking for a consistent way to generate customers, business opportunities, patients, whatever it is in your business, give me a call, 516-274-4422.
What number?
516
Don't make a face at me.
274-4422. I will not take your money if I don't feel I can help you. And
He's not taking my money. He doesn't want to talk to me.
as you can see, live on this show, I said I'm not going to take your. No, so yeah, so if we have a conversation, if you qualify, I qualify, and we feel it's a good fit, then we'll move forward. If not, I can put you in touch with somebody who may be able to help you.
That'd be great.
So you have a network of people that do the things that you
Yeah,
do.
so I'm not of the scarcity mindset, right?
Right.
So I actually have a group of 3,700 now, actually.
Right.
Basically, digital marketers or people that freelance, and I train them on things like client acquisition, how to set up ads, how to do what I do.
Right.
Right. Because there's how many businesses in this country? 54 million more.
Right, yeah.
Right. I'm not going to get them all, I'm not focused on getting them all,
Right.
but there's enough out there for everybody, and
That's fantastic.
everyone should focus on what they do best. If what you do best is roofing, stop running your marketing, and find somebody else to answer the phone, because most contractors and service people that I know, they're answering their cell phone, and they're not picking up the calls quick enough, and they're not getting
Right.
back to people. So find somebody to help you with that, which I'm sure is what you tell your
Exactly,
your people.
exactly.
Yeah.
Do you have any other final words?
No, man, this has been great.
All right, then sit there and look pretty
Okay,
for a while.
do your final.
Thank you for being on.
Stay here,
Yeah,
hang in there,
hang
hang in
there.
with us. What do you got to say before we say goodbye?
You want to get in touch with me, again, we do business coaching, accounting, tax, bookkeeping. cbms.co, 631-721-4347.
Also, let me say thank you to everybody out there, because the Business Power Hour is really doing sensational. In fact, Darren and I were talking today. We're in the middle of July. We have 3 dates left.
For the rest of the year.
For the rest of the year.
Yeah.
And there's a very good possibility that we're going to be going to another day during the week, because the response has been really, really good. If you're interested in being on the show or just want to get some information, please give me a call. Call Norman, the Music Man, at 631-698-9696, and we'll discuss whether we think it's right for you as well.
Right.
Certain people it's not right for. Certain types
And
there
Norman
are.
picks up his phone a lot quicker than I do.
I pick it up. instantly. Also, if you're interested in doing a fundraiser or doing a show for your business to also create some noise for you, give us a call at 631-698-9696. We have a very busy concert season coming up starting in September. But what I wanted to mention is that everybody in Long Island, we have our first free concert. Yes, free. I normally don't do shows in Long Island for charities during the course of the summer because there are too many free shows. But we were contacted, and we have the Beach Boys going to be appearing at the Broadway Mall in Hicksville Tuesday night, August 7th. So we invite everybody down there. We're going to put out the word on Facebook. But we're not going to do we're not going to boost it because we were told
We'll
not
boost
to.
it,
We're not
right.
going to boost it.
What are you gonna do?
We'll figure it away.
And it's free, so why are we
It's
paying?
free content. you know?
free
So
content.
there you go. So we look forward to come out to the Broadway Mall next week, 6 o'clock. I'm sorry, not next week, on August 7th. And that's it. So we thank you very much for watching us tonight, and we hope to see you again next week.
Yeah, everybody be safe. Have a great week, and we'll see you next week.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you.
Today's show is brought to you by Friend Entertainment USA, producing the best concerts for charities and corporations for over 30 years. And CBMS Consulting Services. Control your business before it controls you. In association with Area 22 Productions, your multimedia streaming network. If you're interested in being a guest on our show, visit our website at www.bphdmm.com for more information.